Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Hey, happy Thursday, Masters Week. If you're a golf fan, big week. Um,
Introduce yourself.
they know who I am at this point.
I'm Ali Boulor, this is Alexander Carl, and what we're going to talk about today is the H-1B mess and what to do about everybody, all those people that were not selected in the lottery.
Yeah, registration was due a little less than a month ago, and selections have already been made, and I think visas used up. Is that the term we use, or what do we use at this juncture, Ali? You're more about the
Right, so selection has already been made. USCIS has announced that the quota's been met.
quota's been met, right?
And everybody who was selected has been notified. But every year, because of various hiccups in the system, duplications, etc., some additional visa numbers might become available.
Yeah.
And we sometimes get notifications up until July, really, as to who else might be selected. So not all hope is lost, but time to make plans, B's and plan
Right.
C's.
If you haven't heard by now, you don't really want to rely on more visas becoming available to get selected on the H-1B. So you kind of want to assume that you're not going to be selected, and if not, then what is your plan going to be going forward in trying to get some kind of work visa here in the U.S.?
I mean, one option is to go back to school.
Yeah, I mean, that is always a good option. Whether it's to get a master's or another kind of degree, I mean, one option is always to go back to school, and you can maintain your F1 status, get some OPT in the summer and buy some time. That is always an option. Another option that comes to mind for me is, possible O1 visa. Visas for people with extraordinary ability in the sciences, arts, athletics, etc. An O1 visa, if you qualify, it is kind of, the requirements are a bit stringent, but some of these H-1B applicants, and a lot of them may qualify for an O1, so that is something to explore with your attorney for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, what we require is if you guys send us a resume, we can evaluate and kind of tell you what our thoughts are on your O1 eligibility.
Yeah.
Also, if you're Mexican and Canadian, you might have the option of TN visas.
Yep. TN visa is always a good option and something to explore if you have Mexican or Canadian nationality, for sure. There's no lottery for that. Your occupation does need to fit under, one of the occupations in the list. A lot of them are on the list, so again, something to look into and discuss with your attorney as well. One thing we always bring up also is the PERM process. That's employment-based green card petition, where your employer is going to petition for you for a green card. It is a 3-step process, more or less. It's lengthy. It's about a 1.5 to 2 year process, but hey, there's no lottery. And, at the end of it, you do become a permanent resident if everything goes well.
The catch is you need to maintain status throughout, and if but you don't have to be in the country for this to happen, right? So you can leave, and the perm process can go along, and you'll be coming back with an immigrant visa.
Yep. E2, investor visa. If you're from a country that we have a treaty with, there's a list of countries who are eligible for E2 visas. If you're from one of those countries, then an E2 visa is a possibility. If you're interested and have the means to open up a business here in the U.S., purchase a business here in the U.S., then an E2 visa is something that is something that you should explore.
E1, again, a treaty based visa is a trader visa. So if you're interested in trading commodities, goods, right, out of that go through US, that might be a good visa for you. It does not require, it's not investment, it's really the amount of trade. And the way I always explain it to people, to potential clients is, if a pencil is $1, right? If you trade like 1,000 pencils or 1,000,000 pencils, that's a visa. But if a painting is worth $1,000,000, one painting will not qualify you. for a trader visa. So it's really it's the quantity as opposed to the money, the quantity of trade. Another creative idea is to go abroad for 1 year and potentially, if your employer has offices abroad, you might want to consider being deployed abroad for 1 year, and that way you qualify yourself for an L1.
Yep.
To come back.
L visa. There's J visa, trainee visas. Long story short here, we don't want to confuse you too much with all these different visas and the
Alphabet City.
Yeah. There are options out there. Now is the time to explore those options if you were not selected in the H-1B lottery. If you have an attorney you're working with, definitely give them a call. If not, you can give us a call as well. We're happy to consult with you, answer questions, and see if any of these visa categories are appropriate for your situation, and we can hopefully get you settled here with your employer and working here in the U.S.
Excuse me, yes, we're at www.americanvisas.net, below Carl Immigration Group. Today we're in Los Angeles, coming to you from the very hip Mid-City.
Have a good rest of your week and a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.